Yo, what's up? Dallas.Cowboys State of the Union back at it again with another video. Before we get this video started, please go on ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video, comment, and share this video. Now, it's been a while. We've been gone for maybe a month or two or whatnot. We haven't really said anything, but we're back to talk a little bit about the Cowboys OTAs. Now, they finished up the last OTA, I believe, yesterday, and you have a little mini camp, and then after that, you have that little month or so of rest, and then they go straight into training camp. So we want to talk about some of the words and themes that are coming out of OTAs. Talk a little bit about Dak, just his progression, and Kellen Moore as well. Now, I want to go ahead and start off with the OTAs. I want to start off with the offense. What we've been seeing and the things we've been hearing coming out of the OTAs, they can't keep Randall Cobb off the field. They're doing a lot of 10 and 11-man personnel, which is huge. I've been screaming for them to do that more or whatnot. Tony Pollard has showed up. He is looking really great in OTAs, but of course we won't really get to see his true talent until, of course, once the training camp starts and things of that nature. But I just want to tell people, I believe that this offense and this defense is going to be explosive. And the reason I say that is because we added speed on both sides of the ball. If you look at our offense, you look at under Scott Linehan, and I always tell people this, it's not that Scott Linehan's playbook was garbage, because he had good plays in there. But when it came to creativity, when it came to, really catching the defense off guard, he couldn't do that. And I thought primarily it was because a lot of Scott Linehan's plays was either predictable or slow developing. Everybody has always screamed Dak doesn't throw the deep ball. He doesn't know how to throw the deep ball. However, when you do look at oh yeah, you might need to close that. Y'all Twilight action, like the Hodgman said. But what a lot of people always say is that, okay, Dak can't throw the deep ball, and we don't do a lot of deep ball plays. And it's like, okay, yeah, we were throwing the ball deep numerous times. The problem of the matter is that a lot of those deep ball plays were very slow developing. And that's where you have to add speed in. You want to fly the ball down the field. You add some receivers on that offense that can get upfield, has speed, can take the top off the defense, and the play itself is not taking forever to develop, where the offensive line is just, being broken to pieces by the D-line.
Well, you look at this receiving core in OTAs, this receiving core is based on speed. I mean, Mari Cooper, he's fast. Michael Gallup, he's fast. Randall Cobb, he's fast. He also has the versatility to play outside if you need him to. One guy that I keep hearing from this wide receiver group, Jambea Johnson, the wide receiver that they signed, a drafted free agent out of Toledo. He's picked up the playbook a lot faster than a lot of people thought. And even Sanjay Lal was saying he's progressed. He's ahead of schedule, way ahead of schedule than we thought. So I think Jambea Johnson is my pet cat.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I'm hearing Reggie Davis is doing very well as well. And this is another thing I want to say about this OTAs. This is the first season in a very long time that we've had competition all across the board. And I think that what's going to happen is we're going to get rid of a lot of good players. And the reason, and it's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day,
you can't keep everybody.
And on top of that, we got talent. We got talent all across the board. People had always shredded us in the past for depth. This is one of the most loaded Cowboys teams we've seen in a while, where there's going to be competition at literally every position.
I feel like this team has a legitimate shot to win the Super Bowl. This is the first Cowboys team I felt that could win the Super Bowl since 2008. Yeah. They're loaded at every position. There's really no weak points. I mean, maybe if you want to say backup quarterback,
exactly.
That's probably the only weak spot.
And I wouldn't.
But they're loaded as far as depth purposes is concerned. They're loaded on the defensive line. They're loaded on the just as good on the offensive line. The secondary is formidable. With Jeff, he's been the starter at OTA, so it's like, I really didn't want to go into the season with him as a starter, but we'll see.
Again, I trust in I trust in Chris Richard. Okay, I know everybody say that. Oh, I think that this is his ceiling is there. However, he hasn't had a Chris Richard around. We saw Chris Richard basically take no-name players and create one of the most nastiest secondaries that this league has ever seen.
What?
So when you look at it like that, I'm not counting Jeff Heath out.
And another Donovan Wilson, that's another pet cat of mine. They say he's been around the ball. I think he caused a fumble on a tackle where he just poked the ball out. So that's another pet cat of mine. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. They're loaded at every position.
Yeah, they're loaded at every position.
I wouldn't, except for the backup quarterback spot.
I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Jones isn't actively looking for maybe a potential a backup quarterback. When you look at this team or whatever, if you can look at this team from top to bottom and you can say, okay, well, this team is loaded except for backup quarterback. If they really feel like this is the year, I believe that Will McClay and Stephen Jones will put their heads together and say, let's go out and try to find some kind of veteran that can back up Dak just in case Dak has to sit down for a few games or whatever the case may be. We're knocking on wood. We're hoping that doesn't happen. But again, you have to plan for the unexpected. But again, this team is loaded. I think that Kellen Moore is going to shock a whole lot of people. I love the things that I've been hearing from Kellen Moore. One of the things that he says is that I like is do the things that you're good at, but show them a lot of different looks.
A lot of different looks. Show them mirrors and shadows. The smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, and that's what I always tell people when you look at Sean McVay's offense. It's not that Sean McVay is this mad scientist and stuff like that. Sean McVay shows a lot of smoke and mirrors. Okay, his plays are very basic. However, if you can make the defense second guess themselves, if you can look off a linebacker for a half a second, a play is going to open up. And he does a lot of stuff pre-snap. That's one of the things that we was lacking last year. We didn't do a lot of pre-snap motions. And when we did pre-snap motions, they were predictable pre-snap motions. We was one of those teams where, hey, we're just going to put our hands in the dirt and we're going to out-physical you. However, when your team is not as physical as it once was because you're missing people on the line, you don't have formidable receivers to get open and stuff like that, those kind of problems come into hand. But again, I'm liking what Kellen Moore is saying. I'm liking that that he's willing to listen to players and when they have suggestions and when they're saying things, and he's not just so gun-ho on this is my offense and it's going to be ran a certain way.
Not only listen, but actually incorporate it in his game plan. And I think that's the biggest thing is where he's getting the respect from players. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to take every single idea from every player, but he's going to at least listen to it and at least consider putting it in his game plan if the players see something different on the field that he's not seeing.
Yeah.
And I also like the fact that he's going to be on the sidelines, not up in the box.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the sideline where he can communicate with Dak as far as what he's saying, and Dak can communicate vice versa with him as what he's saying on the field.
And what he's doing too, Kellen Moore, yes, he's going to be on the sideline, but a lot of people don't know that John Kidner is actually going to be up in the booth. And speaking of John Kidner, he has been working with Dak. Dak has also, in the offseason, been working with a quarterback guru and stuff like that. They're saying his footwork is looking better. His deep ball accuracy is looking better. Him and Randall Cobb are connecting like crazy, and I think that's going to be the X factor.
He just looks more comfortable.
He looks more comfortable
in this OTAs. And just something is different about him. And year 4, this is the year where you would expect a quarterback to take that next step forward. And I think Dak he's much more ready to do that.
Mm-hmm. And when you have a coordinator that you feel like is going to put you in the best position to win, then it's going to work out 9 times out of 10. Also, I just look at it. I look at it like this. I think that after that Atlanta game, I felt like Dak kind of got his groove back last season. I think that Dak is going into the season knowing that, hey, I am that guy. I'm going to take this team to the next level. And I think that a lot of people is going to have to watch out. Also with that, you look at our running back situation. I think this is the first time where we got versatile running backs that are all kind of the same but different in the sense of whatnot. I would love to get maybe another running back, potentially get a thumper, a north to south running back, because we have a lot of elusive running backs. You look at Weber, he's like a poor man Zeke or whatnot.
Tony Pollard could be the next Alvin Kamara.
He can be the next Alvin Kamara. We could get us a north-south thumper that can come in there and just create some contact. There's Duke Johnson that's still out there. So there's a lot of people that we could go after, but I do believe that besides running back, I think we're pretty locked up at running back. I don't see Darius Jackson making this team. A wide receiver is going to be a position that we're going to lose some players that we don't that we love. For instance, I don't think Tavon Austin is safe. And the only reason I say that is because if you can get Tony Pollard to do what Tavon Austin does, they may second guess keeping Tavon Austin around, even though they done paid him. But also, you have Cedric Wilson. You have all these undrafted receivers that we were just talking about, like the Reggie Jacksons of the world and
John Vaya Johnson.
And John Vaya
Johnson. But I think the thing with Tavon Austin is, I think what's going to keep him on the team is because he's dangerous in the return game when he's healthy, and they're only paying him peanuts. I look at a guy like Lance Lenore.
Lance Lenore is definitely off.
Who could possibly being cut.
But we also got to see if they're going to keep 6 to 7 receivers this year. I mean, you look at it. We kept a lot of receivers last year, so you have guys like the Cedric Wilsons of the world that we're still looking for. Noah Brown, who I really love, and I think that I think he could be an X factor for us as well. You have a lot of receivers that again might not make this team. Alan Hearns, who caught the ball in the wild card game, got us that first down, broke his ankle, got his ankle broken, and held onto the ball. And who knows if we hadn't got that first down, what could have happened?
I mean, the receiver position is deep.
It's deep.
That I know
it's
for
deep,
sure.
And you got veterans, but you also got young talent on there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, this OTAs was a great OTAs. We got to hear a lot of stuff. We got to see a lot of stuff. So now mini camp's showing up, and then training camp, we're going to really get into the thick of things. But I think that this team is locked, is ready to go. Chris Richard, Rob Marinelli, holding down that defense is amazing. Kellen Moore, John Kitna, Sanjay Lau on the offense. And you got Jason Garrett himself overseeing everything. I think that this team is ready to go. So we'll see what happens.